I have a story to share with you. One of our friends over at the talk station in Morehead City, North Carolina, sent me a note about an incident that occurred. And as soon as I heard about it, and Ross is just a great guy, the ops manager there at the talk station, and he sent me a note about a guy by the name of Gary Dean, who is an American patriot, 69 years old. And he was working down at the Food Lion, which is kind of like their version of Kroger. I've been to the Food Lion a time or two. Mr. Dean is no longer at Food Lion. He left his job because of the American flag. And I'm going to let him tell the story. Mr. Dean is on the Liberty University Newsmaker line. Mr. Dean, an honor to have you with us today.
Mr. Starnes, thank you so much for having me on your show. I've admired you for a very long time. I love your program, and I even took down the address because I need the newsletter because I'm getting tired of Facebook.
It's, isn't it difficult? I follow a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter, and I never get to see their stuff, in my news feed. And that's just really, kind of disappointing, but it is what it is.
Exactly. It is. But, I have to say this, though. Facebook did allow me the opportunity to get my story out there. And it went viral, but it also opened so many other doors and possibilities and a little bit of hate mail in the process. But what happened, as a veteran, I love my country. I love my flag. I live in a military town, Havelock, North Carolina. I'm about a mile away from Cherry Point Marine Corps Air Station. So you've got the 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing. You've got a lot of military, a lot of veterans. When they said, put the mask on or you can't work here, as a retired broadcaster myself and a veteran, I said, well, okay, no problem. I'll see if I can find a mask that works for me. And those gator masks work, the ones that wrap around the head. I found one with an American flag design on it, and I found one with a thin blue line flag on it. I've been wearing them all summer long. No problem. 3 days ago, somebody apparently complained about me wearing the flag. At the time, I really was, the way the political atmosphere is today, you just think that everybody's saying that because they hate the flag. But it could also have been someone who's saying you violated the flag code and you're not really allowed to wear anything that depicts the American flag because it's showing disrespect for the flag. I stood my ground and said, okay, if I can't wear this flag, I can't work here. So I left. And then it blew up on Facebook from there.
Yeah, this is fascinating because normally these companies, they either deny it happened or say there was some other reason for the controversy. But I was very surprised to see that News Channel 12 reached out to Food Lion, and the company said that while they respect the American flag, their policy prohibits associates from wearing clothing with writing, insignia, or symbols. So they're defending this as being part of the company policy. How absurd is that, Mr. Dean, that the American flag somehow doesn't fit into their workplace?
Well, the dichotomy on that, Todd, is if it's company policy, first of all, why weren't we aware of this at the very beginning when this mask mandate came out instead of just 2 days ago?
Good point.
And second of all, we have a reserved parking space out in front of Food Lion with American flags posted on the pole that's reserved for veterans, specifically for veterans. And on Veterans Day and on Memorial Day and on 4th of July, the cash registers in front, of which I man one of those as a part of customer service, they're all adorned with American flags. So you either honor the American flag or you don't honor the American flag. So the mask thing, I think, is just one of those muddy waters.
Now, I'm curious, why did you quit your job? Why not, I don't know, be fired? What, did they threaten you in any way?
Oh, absolutely not. And let me say this. The people that I worked with at that particular Food Lion in Havelock are some of the nicest people. I've ever worked with. And I spent 50 years in broadcasting. I've worked with some of the most nefarious creatures you could imagine. These people...
I think I may have worked for some of them, too.
But these people have just been, bend over backwards nice to me. The manager came up to me and said, look, I'm embarrassed to even tell you this, but somebody complained you can't wear it. My best friend was killed in Vietnam. He got shot through the heart. They brought him home in a box, and I helped bury him. My dad served in World War II in the Pacific Theater in Guam, Guadalcanal, and Okinawa. He got shrapnel in his back battle at Sugarloaf Hill and got a Purple Heart. He named me after a Marine that died in his arms in 1945 at Okinawa. So the pride just kind of runs deep through my veins. My uncle was a bomber pilot in World War II. I've got other family members. My grandfather was in the Navy in World War II. So we go back a long ways. So when they said you can't wear that, it just hit me immediately. I said, I can't take this off. This is my flag. This is my... I wore it out of complete respect. Then I went back and reread the flag code. And it does state in the code that even representation of the flag should not be displayed, should not be embroidered on a napkin or a pillow or a cushion. We, as a country, have been violating this for years, but we violate it out of pride, not out of neglect, not out of disgust. We don't stomp on it, spit on it, burn it. We wear it out of pride and love of country. That's it.
Well, I think this is it's a terrific thing you did, and standing up for the flag, standing up for the military. And I hear what you're saying. A lot of these folks that work in these grocery stores or maybe national chains or regional chains, they just have to follow their policies. And I get that. It just seems to me this is a bad policy. And it's the idea that the American flag could somehow be offensive to somebody, especially in that part of the country, Mr. Dean, is beyond me, because we have a lot of listeners over at the Marine Corps Air Station there at Cherry Point.
Oh, absolutely, Todd. And not only just there, but of course we've got right down the road Camp Lejeune.
That's true. Yeah.
Camp Geiger, Camp Johnson, New River Air Station, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base up the road in Goldsboro. And Fort Bragg in Fayetteville. Well, wherever you look, you're going to find veterans. It's like if you have a flat tire, a Shriner will help you if you see the emblem. Down here, a veteran will, because they see it. They know you. So it befuddled me, and I thought, sometimes you have to put principle above paycheck.
Well said.
I'm retired. I'm on fixed income. Yeah, I'm going to lose a couple of bucks, but I just could not cash in my dignity at that time.
Well, I hope you know that the local talk radio station there, the talk station, they got your back here, and they reached out to me. And as soon as I saw the story, I'm like, well, we got to have you on the program.
Man, I appreciate that more than you know. We loved having you in our backyard. Recently, you were down in Morehead City signing your book, and I got my hands on a copy of it. I love it. I love what you do on the airwaves, because there's not enough of that. We hear too much of the rhetoric of the left, but we don't get the balanced side of what really is happening in this country.
Well, you're kind to say that, Mr. Dean, and we're going to be coming back. You got a new book coming out, and it's a fun one, and we're going to be telling people about that, I think, in about another month or so, but we hope to make it back, and who knows, they might. I think they'll let us back in the sanitary fish market there. That was a great little restaurant.
I'm going to make sure of that. I mean, if Nancy Pelosi can get her hair done, you can come eat some fish.
And those hush puppies. That's some good hush puppies.
Those hush puppies, you can't beat that.
No, you can't.
You don't find that at a salon.
Oh, that's true. That's very well said. All right, Mr. Dean, God bless you, sir, and thank you for serving our country and also being a great broadcaster.
Oh, Mr. Starnes, thank you so much. I'm honored.
All right. Good fellow right there. Can you believe that? I mean, my goodness gracious. Come on. Food Lion. I mean, look, we've got to have some common sense in this country, don't we? Here's a fella, retirement years, working down at the Food Lion, and they're going to give him grief for wearing a face mask that looks like the American flag. Come on. That's just not right. People are crazy. I tell you, crazy. And I suspect all you folks listening to us over on the talk station, you got to be pretty riled up about that. I have to imagine there is a locally owned grocery store that would be more than happy to not only get your business. But I guarantee you they're going to salute the American flag. 844-747-8868, our toll-free number. That's 844-747-8868. This is the Todd Starnes Show.